because blessing. And I do blessing things, blessing. And when I do them, I always smile because blessing makes the world go round. Yes, blessing makes the world go round. Welcome to Blessayo. I'm Blessing, and at Blessayo, we experience wild colors for chaotic harmony. And in this video, I basically do an intuitive painting. I also talk about the possibility of going to horror conventions, not right now, but like at some point in the future of my artistic journey. And by going to horror conventions, I mean exhibiting there. And so if any of that interests you, then stay tuned. So today is Thursday. It is Thursday evening. We just finished watching the first Lord of the Rings movie because I've never actually seen or read Lord of the Rings. So it was a good movie, and now I want to read the book. Well, we just finished watching that, and it's been raining really bad the last 2 to 3 days because apparently there's going to be a hurricane that hits us. It's going to be a tropical storm by the time it gets up to this particular area of Georgia I live in, but it's in Florida right now, and apparently everyone is scared and losing their minds because the schools are closed. Shops are closing early, and it's just really crazy. And I'm kind of nervous now because the rain has not stopped. It's been really bad, and it's just making me nervous. And this whole week has just been really odd for me because I've been very sluggish, and it's been hard for me to get out of bed to do things. And so on Monday, I edited my next video, which thankfully it wasn't too much to edit. And then, yes, on Tuesday, I was working on my website, but that website work extended all the way to Wednesday because I just was so sluggish and could not get out of bed for the bulk of Tuesday, and it was really bad. And so yesterday I finished working on my website and uploaded the next blog article and everything. And I couldn't do much of anything else. And so today I did some sketching, but that's all I've been able to do today. I would like to prep another piece of paper. Yeah, let me show you what I've done. So I made 3 sketches, 1, then 2, then 3, of these are like skeleton people, very Dia de los Muertos inspired. I really like that holiday, but what I like about it is that we're honoring loved ones that have passed away. And so I just do these calaveras, skeletons, and like doing different things. This one's just a portrait surrounded by flowers and a lunar moth. This one's like the angel of death sort of thing. And this one's at the beach. And I really like how I was able to get those thin lines for under the water. And I love this vine that's going through the bone. There's something very insect-like about these vines in this one. And this one, I just love the fact that it's an angel. And I love how detailed I got with the patterns of this one and the sacred heart. I have been inspired by 3 different artists I found on Instagram that are folk artists, but they also, one of them does more horror type of art. And so I just have been inspired by that. Yeah, so I've been inspired by 3 different artists on Instagram, and um, I just, I'm trying to do more art and everything. And the thing about folk art is that it's not very realistic, which I like. It's more of what interests you or what experiences you've had through your life, I've learned. Um, and I also love horror art, and so I'm trying to like blend those two together with my expressionistic side that I used to do a lot more in college. And so I just am trying to really embrace the different things that I like, if that makes sense. And oh, I forgot to tell you, Devs. Over the weekend, I was looking at horror conventions in Georgia. I'm not going to be exhibiting at a convention anytime soon because that's a lot of money that I do not have. Not for like the tables, because I discovered there was like 3 or 4 different conventions that I found that's happening within the next couple of months or whatever. And I discovered that the tables at most were like $250, which is really not that high. I thought it'd be a lot higher because I know people who go to anime conventions, like artist alleys there, and they do like reviews or whatever of those conventions, and the tables are like $1,500, and I'm just like, ah! But no, not at these conventions. I guess because horror art, horror stuff is a bit more of a niche type of thing, so you're not expecting to get like absolutely everybody to go to these types of conventions, so the tables are a lot cheaper. But the reason why I was looking at these conventions was because I would like to one day in my art career do like an artist alley, because I learned over the last couple of years that there are some artists who have a social media presence, or they don't have a social media presence, and they make a living by just doing conventions. And I'm disabled, so I don't see yourself doing conventions like over and over and over again. Like at most, I think I would probably only have energy to do like one a year or something. Um, because that's a lot of talking and a lot of people, and I just know my mental illness is not gonna like that. um, but I just kind of got fascinated with this whole convention circuit. But the only conventions I would hear about is like San Japan, Anime Expo, um, and those are like, I think San Japan is in like Texas, and I don't know where the heck Anime Expo is at, but every time I hear about those conventions, it's always really, really expensive to get the table. You have to like sort of audition and have your artwork accepted now, which you used to just be able to sign up as a vendor, and um they say, yeah, you can come to you can be a part of our artist alley. You pay the fee, and then boom, the rest is you creating your stock or whatever. Um, but now you have to like be accepted and stuff just to even exhibit. And there's no telling if people are even gonna buy your stuff, because you have to have a good following, which I don't really have a large following, so that's another reason why I don't see yourself doing conventions anytime soon. Um, and it's just very cutthroat, the vibes that I've gotten from the videos I've looked at, and I don't like that. um, it may just be me like misinterpreting the whole vibe of everything. Oh, hi, Pimpian. But I just I just feel a little apprehensive about those types of conventions. Sorry, I was looking to see if my roommate was still taking a bath. Um, they're not in the bathroom. And so I was like, well, is there any way I can do like something smaller? Because I don't really do fan art. I don't do like anime art. And like I like anime, I do, but I tend to like the old stuff. I haven't really gotten into like the new stuff that everyone's obsessed with. And I don't play Genshin Impact, which I know that's sort of like the flavor of the month type of anime that everyone is like um doing or whatever. And so I don't play Genshin Impact. I don't watch the latest anime or keep up with the latest anime trends, so I don't know what's out there. Like, I just started watching Steven Universe, and that fad died like forever ago. And so I don't keep up with this type of pop culture stuff. And you kind of have to do that if you're going to an anime convention. And you have to be okay with like doing fan art, which I stopped creating fan art when I went to college many years ago because you can't really do fan art in college. So I know one guy who got away with it because he was doing hyper realistic portraits of actors, so everyone was obsessed with him. Um, but that wasn't me. Uh, and so I was very, when I was in high school, I was heavily discouraged from doing fan art, but I still did it like in on the side. But when I went to college, it was very much a no fan art type of thing. And the fan art discourse has really changed, I've noticed. Like, some companies are okay with it, some companies aren't okay with it. And I'm just like, wow, that's different. It used to be nobody can do it at all, period. You will be sued, cease and desist. But now companies are like, ooh. Like, I see yourself creating, and I've had this idea in my head. I've seen yourself creating some like Stranger Things fan art because I really like that show, and thankfully it's not over yet, and I have been like a part of the hype train, you know. So that's really good. I discovered it kind of late. I discovered it in like 2019, I believe. Um, but I've been a part of the general discourse, which makes me so happy to be a part of these things. Like, I never follow pop culture. Um, but I just love to be a part of pop culture anyway. So Stranger Things is definitely pop culture, and I want to like create some fan art and stuff of mainly of Max because she goes through a lot in season 4. Um, and so but I don't really create fan art because like when it's beaten into you to not do it for as many years as it was beaten into me to not do it, I kind of hesitate to do it. But I don't want my channel or my social media presence or my brand to just be a fan art brand. I want to be known for like my own stuff because I own that stuff, you know? And so, but I would like to branch out a little bit and start creating some fan art because I feel there are some stories that I could tell with fan art, which is good. Um, but Anime Expo and like San Japan, like every time I see videos of people selling stuff at artist alleys there, all of their merch, it's all fan art. And I'm just like, I don't create like that. Um, so I'm like, how do I compete with that? How do I know what's trending, what's not trending? And if I do follow what's trending, am I just creating merch just so I could get money off of people, or do I really like the fan of whatever it is I'm creating? You know what I mean? Like, I know nothing about Genshin Impact, so why am I trying to create Genshin Impact merch? You know, some people can get away with that, but I don't think I could get away with that. And, but I feel from the vibe I've gotten from looking at these horror conventions, I looked at the vendors list because they have vendors for like the previous years they've done the conventions or whatever. And I look at their vendors and I look them up online. A lot of them don't even have websites or anything. They just have like Instagram pages or Linktree pages or whatever. And some of them are bands and stuff that's really cool. And I looked at their stuff, and their stuff's not fan art or whatever. Like, if it is art, it's not fan art. It's more just like horror, creepy stuff, which you can do a lot with the horror genre. Um, and I saw people selling like food, like pastries, and there's this one Halloween brand that does a bunch of Halloween hot sauces. There's this other brand that did some really creepy art that I liked. And there are several heavy metal type of bands. And I really think that this would be, if I had the money to do the convention, if I was able to drive, because I can't drive right now because I don't have insurance. It's an expense I can't afford right now. Also, my car's messed up too, so I have to get my car fixed. Um, But if all of that was not a factor, I think I would do more like horror conventions, because I think my pastel goth type of art would be great at a horror convention, because there's not a lot of pastel goth stuff. It's a niche within a niche. And so I think I would be able to make sales of like merch there. Definitely more of like prints. And I see a lot of people at artist alleys, they sell like acrylic charms, they sell like enamel pins, they sell prints, of course, some originals, or they do commissions right up front and things like that. So I was thinking the brain was going about the different types of things that I could do, because I think that would be a great way to get my name out there, is to go to conventions and stuff. But definitely when I have a bigger following. Um, cause I've done like a art fair, a craft fair. I did that back in 2016. That was my first time doing it, and I loved it. I broke even. Actually, no, I made more money than I spent making the stuff that I made. And the table fee, because it was like the first year they did it, the table fee was only like $25. But I don't really do art fairs anymore, because it's kind of hard to do them, because the type of art that I make is not, like a bouquet of flowers or um baskets of fruit or boats. It's more like creepy stuff. It's very niched, and I just feel like my art doesn't really. I feel like I wouldn't get a lot of sales if I were to go to like an art fair, because there's this one fair in Hogansville that I used to want to exhibit at all the time, called the Hummingbird Festival. It happens either September or October, I can't remember. But the problem is, the people of Hogansville are very conservative, and so they're not really into creepy type of art. And I know this because when I did my craft fair, I was in LaGrange, and they're very conservative too. And the pieces that they bought from me were more of my like animal portraits, whereas my experimental stuff I did not get any sales from at all, and that sucked. Pimpin, you need to make up your mind of what you're trying to do here. I can't keep closing the door for you. So, do you want to be in here, or do you not want to be in here? I'm talking to my cat. Yeah, Pimpin, I'm talking to you. And so, I quickly learned from that experience that conservative people do not like experimental stuff. And so I have to go where my people are, and what better way to attract my people than like a horror convention? Because there's conventions for everything. I even thought about doing like an artist alley at like one of the furry conventions, because I'm a furry. But just because I'm a furry, that doesn't mean my customer base are furries. And you have to make furry art to attract the furries. And so I don't make furry art really. So why would I be exhibiting at a furry convention? But I make creepy art. I at least narrowed that down, you know? That's what Blessed Eye was about, creepy art. So I'm gonna go there. I've been talking for a long time, but I just needed to get this out, you know? Um, but yeah, so I did those sketches and it's like super late at night. It's almost 8 o'clock, so it's not too late. But I think I'm just gonna call that a day in terms of my art because I don't want to overexert yourself. And I need to do one more painting for the collection and then I can start the photo taking phase, which is good. But I probably won't be able to take many photos until this hurricane lets up because I have to take photos outside because it's got the best lighting and everything. So today is Saturday. I didn't film at all yesterday and I didn't make any art yesterday because I could not get out of bed for the life of me. And I laid in bed for a really long time. I eventually got out of bed, but after I got out of bed, my roommates wanted to continue the Lord of the Rings trilogy, and so I decided to watch it with them. We looked at the Two Towers, and then they had to go and take care of, do landlord stuff. And then they came back and we looked at The Return of the King, and oh my gosh, I love both those movies. All three of the movies are good, but my favorite has to be Return of the King. That movie was really good. And now I understand why so many people are obsessed with Lord of the Rings. I would love to read the books, but those movies were really good. Anyway, they're really long too, so it was like late at night when we finished. And so I did not work on any art yesterday. So I would like to work on some art today, but I'm kind of struggling because I like my zombie portraits. I really do. I think they look really nice, but the thing I don't like about them is that they don't really seem spontaneous and expressive. Because back when I did abstract art, it was very expressive and very, yeah, it was just really expressive. But I feel with these, it's just a very relaxing tone to them, and I can tell it's by the way that I created them. I started with a sketch and basically filled it all in. And so I don't think I'm going to continue doing that with these next paintings that I'm coming up with. I have a cruddy brush that I would like to use, and I just would like to be more experimental and expressive, because for some reason whenever I'm creating portraiture I get really stiff, and I don't like that. And so I'm trying to not be so stiff. I want to be loose and free. And I also wanted to say I sewed in these bows because they fell out, because these ears used to have bows and bells on them, but the bells fell out first because apparently the bells and the bows were glued in and not sewn in like I thought they were. But the bells fell out first, and I don't know where the bells went because we moved, and so I put everything everywhere. But the bows eventually fell out, and I was like, but I like the bows. So I sewed the bows in, and I used black thread because I have colored thread, but that is in the shed at the other house. And so I don't really have access to it. I only have access to black thread. So I sewed the bows in and they look nice and they are not going anywhere and I really like that. What else? Um, what else? Yeah, I would like to make some art today. So hopefully I will be able to prop you guys up, prop you doves up, and make some art. So I finished this painting. Hi, Pimpin. I finished this painting and I really like it. I I really like it. I basically did like an intuitive painting, which is something I haven't done in a while, and I really like how it turned out. Please excuse the kitty cat. She is being a little extra weird today. Um, I did an intuitive painting, so let me tell you about it. So I have this hand reaching towards the sun, and they're both looking at each other, and I have these tombstones. And I have water dividing two pieces of land. One has flowers on it, one is very grassy. And I have some mountains and clouds with stars with a bright sky. And I did this because I wanted it something to be, I wanted it to be, how do I put it? I wanted something that looked not necessarily psychedelic, but kind of like something that looks very bright and cheery but is a bit unsettling, because these are all tombstones, and normally the subject of death is something that I use a lot with like my zombie girl series, my drawings of like calaveras and stuff. And so there's something that people tend to find unsettling about death, but I like to contrast death with something that is very exciting. Hence the bright colors and the non-dreariness in my paintings. And so let's do a zoom in. This is 9 by 12 inches. It's on my sulfite white drawing paper. I wasn't entirely sure what I wanted to paint. I just basically started putting in shapes. I knew I wanted a sun and I wanted a hand, but that was about it. And so I want to use my sulfite white drawing paper whenever I don't really know what I'm gonna do, because I want to do this bigger, because I really like it. It went through an ugly stage to where I wasn't entirely sure that I wanted to continue it, but I finished it anyway, and I really, really like it. And so I want to make it bigger. And so I measured out. What? Anyway, I measured out how large I can get a piece of paper without having to use those clamps or anything. And I can go 23 inches this way, which also means I have to deal with the hole that's there. But I figured I don't use a lot of pressure, so having the paper go over that hole doesn't bother me. So it's 23 inches this way by 23.5 inches this way, which is actually pretty big. So this painting here is, I've trimmed it a little bit, so it's about 18 inches this way by like 22 inches this way, I think, but I would have to remeasure it. Do you like it, Pimpin? I haven't put anything on it. Do you like it, Pimpin? She's been acting really weird today, and I don't know why. Today we watched The Hobbit, the animated version of The Hobbit. We looked at that, and tomorrow we're gonna watch the animated version of I know, I think it's the Fellowship of the Ring and the Return of the King. And then we're gonna try and see where we can find the live action version of The Hobbit, because apparently there's three Hobbits. I heard of The Hobbit back in 2012, but of course I didn't pay attention to it because I thought it was a continuation of Lord of the Rings. Seeing how I never read or saw Lord of the Rings, I was like, well, I'm not gonna look at a continuation. But it turns out it's a prequel. So here, let me let Pan Pan out. Y'all come back now, you hear? So we're going to look at The Hobbit. And I'm not gonna paint anymore tonight. It's pretty late. It's 9:40. Let me let Pam Pam back in because I think she's knocking on the door. Hi, Pam Pam. Want to come in? She knocks on the door, but then she doesn't come in, so I don't know what she wants. Okay. Well, I'll have you know I'm about to take a shower. Yeah. Yeah, so I just wanted to show you, doves, that painting that I just did, and I just wanted to talk to y'all about intuitive painting. I really like intuitive painting. I used a crappy brush, but I got really beautiful marks with it that I really like. Sorry, I have y'all all up in my grill. I'm supposed to hold y'all like this. It looks very abstract, but I like it anyway. I was trying to use colors that aren't like what the regular colors of things are, because Nellie Mae Rowe does that and I've done it too, and I really like that. So yeah, there's that. So I will see you, doves, tomorrow. So it is Sunday. It's what time is it? Almost 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I've been up since 7:30 because I reset my alarm to where I didn't sleep through it like I usually do. And I basically have just been laying in bed because I've been really tired. But I'm gonna end the vlog here. Oh, update on a hurricane. So it was a tropical storm by the time it came through where I live at, but it has completely flooded the little ponds that we normally go to when TW likes to go fishing. It's completely flooded those areas to the point where the spillway is literally a waterfall. But we're okay. TW's family, who lives in like the Savannah area, they have no power. I don't know if they have power yet, but like as of like 2 days ago, they have no power. The storm has passed us. So it hasn't been raining since I think Friday was like one of the worst days. But we survived and we're okay. I just thought I'd update you, doves, on that. And I haven't started that painting yet. I did the little one yesterday. I haven't done the big one yet because I would like to record it, but I need to upload these clips to my computer so that I can edit my next video tomorrow. So anyway, if you love this video and if you love my art, it will mean the world to me if you became a member of the Kreepy Castle. Link is down below in the coconut 2 at blessayo.art/castle. You get an instant 20% off coupon code on any item in my store. You get sneak peeks of whatever it is I'm currently working on, and you get to contribute to future product lines. It would also mean the world to me if you like, commented, and subscribed to my YouTube channel, as well as shared this video with your art-loving friends. It just really helps out a lot. I love you, doves, so much, and I hope to see you again very soon. Adios!